What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 19 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tiktaq'to Immortal Empires Expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, Kugath foolishly attempted to attack us outside in the water, and Tiktaq'to's army obviously and unsurprisingly destroyed his. This should mean that Kugath's faction is, by the looks of it, pretty darn weak and ripe for the territory conquest, especially the Dragon has a little bit less care about the Pigbarter Ruins End, unfortunately named settlement, and all of that, but we can give that to the elves in the hopes of having them act as a permanent ally, and then we'll see about the other territories, whether we want to keep them or just transfer them to Cathay or to... I do wonder who's up in the Mountains of Morn, because we saw Goldtooth get destroyed. I assume he got pinned between Kugath and something, but between what and what does remain to be seen. I note that there isn't a bunch of corruption in the mountains, so who could this be? Huh, there is some up here. I wonder if it's, Grimgor, maybe? I guess we'll see. Mountains do look kind of green up there, but anyway, oh right, yeah, you know what, I just remembered something. I wanted to swap that briefly to the sequence of purification from the geological prospecting, nice as this is, just so that we can make use of the chance of plague spreading reduction, because this plague will probably spread. We get a plague here that will probably spread. Chances are Tiktaq will pick up the plague, Tiktaq will pick up the plague, etc., etc. Actually, speaking of Tiktaq, go kill Kugath, please. And to resolve it, hopefully this doesn't damage our units. Free armor of silvered steel, which admittedly has some uses. And let's see, we should land Potion of Farsight, but let's also get a few points going before we do. Now, you, my friend, I guess we could just keep going all the way through to Flow of Battle. The additional speed, admittedly, not super useful on Tiktaq, but, you know, he's already so quick. Yeah, we'll grab a Wound Maker and just keep going through. And Lord Croak, what do you have? You got 3 points yourself. Let's get you Transcendent Healing so that at the time that you actually fight, that you can actually, you know, regen. We could grab these. We could also... Oh! This is... oh, no, it's province. I was thinking that it might be own characters faction-wide, which would be great. Since we're fighting Nurgle, though, let's go for Becoming Cogitation, so that we can get the enemy power reserve reduced. If we fight any enemies that are, you know, reliant on that sort of thing, it's good for us. Anyway, you can land and... huh, I didn't expect you to do that, but sure. And obviously I'll resolve this, because it's a terrible little... oh, I shouldn't have taken that. I should have spent some of the alignments. Okay, you know what? Before we do anything else, let's take some of the alignments. Ooh, actually, I see no other army nearby. I wonder if... we could go out to sea, but we probably won't heal, will we? Yeah, the healing's more important. I was thinking we do the plague ship thing and avoid it, but looks like no. Alrighty, anyway, so let's take a look and spend a few of our alignments, shall we? So that more don't go to waste. So, who might need to get a few blessed units up and running? Washti, Tyrannicon, and Ezozyme. Now, Ezozyme, you are hankering for a couple of Croxagors to join the other aquatic units. What do we have available, incidentally? I do want some a bunch of Blessed Chameleon Skinks and probably Blessed Skink Skirmishers for Ashiotlus. Since we've been using a lot of Blessed Chameleon Stalkers in other armies, we might not go so heavily into them for him. Oh! I was going to do Blessed Razordawn hunting packs for our Lifeslan because they have that Wreathed in Thorns thing that I like, and that can be combined with the Shield of Thorns for much more melee damage reflection. And the regular Razordawns don't have that, so you know what, let's do that. Blessed Razordawn pack, so let's just get all 3 immediately. Granted, it's a lot of our spawning sequence, but we're making a decent amount now. And let's take a look at what kind of upgrades they've got. So they do have the Blessed Spawning of Quan Chi, which gives them stock, which is nice. The Bleed is useless, but, well, just because they already have it. That said, it's probably better than anything else here anyway, so I guess Blessed Spawning of Quan Chi just for the stock. Admittedly, the stock is very nice, and, well, Blessed Spawning of Quan Chi just tends to be good. So we'll use 1, and then we'll just periodically give these guys Blessings of Quan Chi as we get more alignments. Let's do that. Anyway, Ezozyme and Co. Now, I wanted to potentially have Izozyme fight Rakarth, but at the same time I realized something, and that was there is no vampiric corruption here and sandstorm. You know what that means? That means that the last settlement belonging to the deserters of Kotep is in fact on Bone Island, so I guess we're sending Izozyme that way. Now Izozyme, I guess you will travel back this way and then go southward. I mean, we could get you your Croxagores as you move. You know what? Let's have you give up 2 of your skink cohorts with javelins, the one with less levels, to Tyrannicon for now. Like so. And then start moving this way. You should be able to pick up at least 1 Croxagore as you move, and then we'll see about the rest. To Hanowin, then, we are going to have you move into ambush stance and go right here so that the enemy can't see you. And we'll put Tyrannicon and Washti behind you, together with maybe Digga. And then, should we have you all channel? Okay, not Digga, but to have everybody else channel, maybe? You don't have enough mana, and you don't have enough mana. I'm actually thinking that we might actually go for giving the Perizor hunting teams or riding teams to Ashiotla as well, because, I don't know, I feel like they'll work nicely with him. And sort of the concept of his army being skirmisher concept. Anyway, we've been saving points for Tehanwin for this. Physical resistance, all characters faction-wide from Fnatic, and 20 armor and 10 melee defense for all skinks in his army via Disciples of Sotek. Then we'll probably want to go for Tide of Sotek next. Get as close to that melee attack plus 10 as we can as we level. There we go. Sudden, significant, distinct power-up for his red crests. Still a little bit sad that we don't get access to some of his shielded red crests and that we didn't get any out of him, but oh well. Not the biggest of deals, I guess. I go for Resilient. I'm willing to bet we'll be running into a fair few of the Dark Elves bolts as we play, so we may as well just get that. Alright, you guys all stick around with your little mini armies while Tehanwin acts as the main one. You're all gonna have to fight like 3 armies at once with Rakarth, the garrison, this other army, and this little mini stack, so gotta deal with it. Alright, that's set up. Quetgar, you have nothing to build here. Oh. Well, actually, you will move to Nawantl, I believe. And we'll want to go up to Statues of the Gods for upgrading, maxing out, I should say, Tlaqua. But before building anything else, we want to have Gorok grab those islands. Who knows, maybe we'll finally get materials at sea. So Gorok, that's you, buddy. And go for Shipwreck 1. Explore the island, auto-resolve it. Yeah, I know it's going to hurt these guys. You know what? Replenish a little bit so we can hopefully auto-resolve at least 1 more out of the 4. And 8,000 money. Go for the next one. And go for Arms and Armor, easier auto-resolves. Then, this is a Remnants of Battle, so you're going to go into full speed stance. You're going to pick this up. Like so, hopefully. For Obsidian Trinket. This will give you another Arabian Arms, and we can't get to this because it's a battle, but we'll also suffer attrition, so we should be able to go right here, where we suffer no attrition. And then hit this next turn. Alright, well, no materials at sea by the looks of it, so we're probably going to be free to build stuff. Stuff and things. Mazda Conqua, you are going to keep moving. You've got deliveries to make. Tyrannicon, we've moved you. Onsianam, you will be going after a Ragnar Balefire here. Do we want Vanguard deployment? It's only for Lizardmen infantry units. It wouldn't help for the guys that actually need it here, so I guess not so much. And I think you're the last one that needs to move this turn, other than the building to be done. So go for the Shrine of the Last Smile. Oh, I kind of like that name. Which I kind of like all the names of these settlements in Shattered Barrens. Shrine of the Last Smile, Cradle of Ashen Joy, Hollow Benediction, Star Metal Cemetery. All very nice. Anyway, what do we got here? Oh, that's a lot of trolls. That's a concerning number of trolls. Huh. Alright, well, I guess we got a fight for us. Should be a pretty fun one then. Go. Damn it, I missed the slant speech, but oh well. Here we go. We've got our new and improved Fire Army. 2 out of the 6 beams of Chotek now available, and, well, we've got more salamanders and other things on the way as well. Anyway, the enemy army doesn't have too many things that can fire back, and so we're going to knock out those Marauder horses quick as we can, and then move on to other things. First, the Marauder horseman units gets destroyed rather quick. Gonna move to the second. Various different kinds of shots. The beams of Chotek, the split shots from the ancient salamanders, and the umbral tides, well, regular, I guess, explosive fireworks. Looks like the enemy's gonna hit us back with an umbral pendulum. A tiny bit of damage to the umbral tide, but nothing all that concerning. Anyway, looks like the Marauder horses are out, and it's time to switch our targets. The beams of Chotek will, of course, target the bigger entities, i.e. the trolls, as well. Now, they might have enough alpha damage to actually knock them down, and either way, there should be plenty of alpha strike damage. You can definitely use beams of Chotek to snipe things, so it should work. Plus, of course, trolls are weak against fire, which I'm sure will work out rather nicely for this army. Anyway, while the beams of Chotek work on the trolls, our salamanders, split shots, and the umbral tide will work on the enemy marauders and chaos warriors best as they can. And we are deployed rather far from our main stack because all of these units are reasonably fast and can back off as needed. We have a rather nice sort of big old mountainside and a, I don't know, lava ravine here, so we're going to use the use that to essentially protect our flanks and retreat behind the line of skinks when needed. We also do have the Tiktaqto and Juradon available together now. One's anti-large, I believe, and one's anti-infantry. And if the enemy should close the distance, they'll have to deal with these guys. Cute. Anyway, just keep on firing away. Ooh, does look like a unit of Warhounds nearly manages to close, but we summon the Skink Priest avatar just to get in the way. And it's not like we really care what happens to the little summoned unit. And it's more time to deal damage to the enemy as they approach. Bounce power is slightly in our favor now at about, let's say, 55%. Oh wow, the Warhounds took out that Skink Priest avatar quickly, much quicker than other things in the past. Once again, I guess it's just the sheer number of models and being able to attack. Anyway, trying to retreat now. Of course, the Basties can fire backwards as they run, thanks to the Skink teams. And a little bit of extra damage. They don't have poison-tipped spears, I guess, because everything is fire damage on the Basties, but that works as well. Alrighty, and we're moving towards our main line now. We have our shielded skink cohorts in front with the javelin cohorts behind them. Getting a couple more shots off with our Basties. And our salamanders, of course. How are those trolls doing? One of them took about, maybe 60, 70% in damage. Not too bad. It's probably like 65, but anyway. There we go. Now we can move behind our lines, and the fire damage continues, including a little bit of damage from spellwork as we get a burning head, mowing down some of the enemy marauders, and hopefully getting in the way of a few of the other units. There we go. Not too bad at all. Here comes the Juradon and Tiktaqto. And the enemy will smash first. Ooh, nice beam of Chotek and the Burning Head hitting those Chaos Trolls. And yes, it does look like there's enough Alpha Strike on the beam of Chotek to knock out a single troll with every shot. Admittedly, 12 shots is a lot, but that does mean they can kill those units. Lovely to see. And there's another one following another troll unit as it attempts to run. We may not have nearly as much fire as we eventually will in this army, but it's already looking pretty darn great. There we go, Umbral Tide is back into it with those fireworks. Chaos Warriors getting hit, though, by the looks of blocking some beams of Chotek, which are supposed to be targeting those trolls instead. Juradon and Tiktaqto working and standing within the flames, but they're heavily defended enough to not be concerned about them and allow the enemy to blob up a teensy bit so that we can hit them with a nice piercing bolts of burning. Either way, it wasn't the Chaos Warriors that we were after here, but the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, which wandered too close to the big dinos. Oh, nice double beam of Chotek. Looks like they just missed the sorcerer but brought down a troll right behind him instead. Not that the sorcerer is in good shape either. Takes a volley of javelins to the back. And there's more dinos around him as well. All 4 now trying to knock that poor Chaos Sorcerer out. And down he goes, and with him it looks like his army will follow. A few more parting shots from the various fire units. We'll see more units destroyed just for fun. And we'll chase down and destroy, hopefully, these aspiring champions, because, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. A lovely, lovely fight. There we go. We're only about a third of the way there, but we're already starting to feel like a proper fire army, and I absolutely love to see it. The Chaos Host arrayed against us learn to fear the fires of creation, wielded by the Slan Anzianam. Very nice. And we got ourselves... Okay, gotta use the alignments again. And occupy. Lovely. Not that we really care about the Chaos Waste territories, but we got iron and obsidian here, which tend to be the commonalities in the Chaos Waste generally, both north and south. Lots of those around, or at least more so than on other parts of the map, I think. Well, obsidian at any rate. I believe there's a fair bit of it. But anyway, what was I going to do? Oh, right. I wanted to use more of those alignments. You know what? Let's just get both of them up and running, because I'm going to forget again. We all know this. Let's go for Blessed Spawning of Huanchi. It's probably the most useless one in the sense that it's basically just giving stock to these units. But, you know, they don't... Oh, wait. Wait, they already have stock? Oh, they do, because you're a 4th gen Slan and you give the entire army stock. Meaning it's a completely useless blessing. Well, I guess it's a very slight damage buff, but there's nothing else to spend this on right now, so... at least for now, go for the Blessed Spawning of Huanchi anyway. Yeah, I really wish once again that the game introduced a concept where you could effectively sort of choose which of the, like if you are given multiple options, then you like click, like for example, you have Frostbite, Poison, and then Bleed, and then you press which one you want or something. I don't know. Maybe you have to make it permanent, but then again, items that apply multiple different types, but yeah, I don't see why you couldn't choose, you know? Especially with things like weaponry, like lethal poison and toxic venom and whatnot. Like, why can't you choose the poison that you're coating your blades with, huh? Huh, game? I ask you, but anyway. Anyway, let's do the building upgrades, as we've got a fair bit and more money to make in order to get more units on the field. Let's get you up and running. And the ice fire planes, are you able to collect money now? Not yet. Still negative, eh? It is 1.3k per turn, but, you know, we'll give it a few turns and then it'll fix itself. Definitely the Geomantic Spire, because we need those everywhere. What do we have here? I guess we'll upgrade the Copper Landing first because it has a port and, you know, more growth, faster growth, etc. Shrine of the Last Smile, we will this time start with an old one monument because it's in the southern Chaos Wastes. Shilanwapek. Okay, we're only temporarily keeping the Sacred Spawning Caverns here, so just leave those alone for now. The Spice Route, Chandrahara, we will upgrade you to the next tier. Go for the Salt and the Skink Barrios. We will go for the Blood Shrines of Sotek here. Expensive though they may be, it's not as bad as it used to be. Lost Valley. Gold, money, and I guess a mini Temple of Sotek, or Shrine of the Old Ones, rather. Sotek, notably not an old one. Geomantic Spire at Itza, and yeah, might as well upgrade that Temple of the Old Ones. I'm not sure whether we're keeping the Corral Arena here, so we'll leave that alone for now. And Quetzal, are you safe from attack now? I mean, it's kind of in the middle of all of these territories. Maybe Quetzal, we are free to delete this now. These places might still get attacked by the Blooded Wanderers, but Quetzal less likely, so we'll do that. Demonium Hills, doubling up on those Kroxagor labor districts, and lastly Kulkin Plains, yes to the money, 2 to the show, and just go immediately for the Geomantic Pylon. Again, we need these everywhere, not just for the Geomantic Web, but because they generate spawning sequence, and that's more blessed units all over the place, which is just great. Anyway, skip on by. Let's complete that tech that will give us the anti-plaguination, so that we don't have to deal with as much of that annoyance. And let's see whether the enemy, fails to... Okay, Emmerich, please. Oh, you want a trade agreement. Okay, yes, we do want that. Non-aggression pact. Wait, can we just go straight to defensive alliance? Not yet, but I'm willing to bet that he'll be willing. You know, I'm gonna say don't take Emmerich's money. And the thing is, I'm afraid he's just going to get killed by Grimgor, and I'd rather that not happen. And much as I'd love the free cash, and admittedly the player can usually make a better use of it than the AI can, nonetheless. Ah, would you look at that? Rakarth didn't have enough movement range to move towards Tehanawan, and will move into the Golden Colossus, but has brought all of his armies in tow, which means a pretty big fight is on the horizon. Although I guess a pretty big fight is pretty much always on the horizon. Alright, there we go. And dinner bell. Felix von Horstmann, the exotic goods hauler, is back. Ooh. It is time we put a definitive end to this vandal. Oh, at last. The Conquistador has returned again. This time he has made his way to an ancient temple. His men are busy dismantling every small plaque and fixture. The Conquistador calls them wordlessly to a halt as we approach. This tense silence is then shattered as an immense golden gong breaks loose from atop the pyramid. The Conquistador steps aside as it crashes past him, echoing on every step, before reverberating with one last boom as it settles. Somewhere in the jungle, a roar. It is time we put a definitive end to this vandal. Yes. Not reinforcements? Huh. No reinforcements. Honestly, this doesn't feel like it's worth fighting. I'm a little bit wary that it'll give us another fight after this, but I'm gonna auto-resolve this. Let's see how much damage we take here. Alright, a fair bit. We're going to heal up. And did that complete the... Alright, Ashiola is ready for duty. Technology researched. Another prize hunker. He's a prized hunk. No prize hunter for you, buddy. And... Pterodon for Rehejar. I don't know who you are or where you are. Oh, you're in Tyrannicon's army, sure. Colossodon Rex. Alright, so that's all we needed to do. Beautiful. A mighty hunter has been awakened from its slumber, its belly now full. It shows no hostility toward the expedition. As it curls up to rest, it spits out a mangled golden mask. Our adversary has at long last been vanquished. Oh, lovely. Alright, so that's the first of the 4 of those that we gotta do? Well, working on it. Anyway, let's start with the tech thieves this time around. Gotta get to thieving. I would like you to move towards Talashlan, and then I would love you to steal from Tlaqua. Critical oh wow. With 80%, well, that's annoying, but it's probably faster to not bother waiting, so let's just get another lucky one. Like so, and just put a new tech thief up to tech thievery. Oh, I wait, right? Specialist and steel tech, and now they start at a higher level than they used to, so it's just better. Alrighty, then what I wanted to do is have Ezozyme pick up a... That's a question. Do we give you a Blessed Kroxigor or a regular Kroxigor? I guess the melee attack on the Blessed Skin cohorts is quite low, and the Blessed Kroxigor, or the regular Kroxigor as opposed to the Sacred Kroxigors, do have the... they do have the bolstered attack thing, which I guess is nice. I really wish I knew which alignments we could get out of the regular Kroxigors. Huh? Maybe we could get 2 of these at once? Okay. No, we cannot. Okay, the game just lied. Fair enough. Wait, it didn't use 2 of the splots, did it? Okay, it didn't. Okay, I got a slightly concerned there. I'm curious, what can you do in terms of your blessing? So we have the blessed spawning of Quetzal. Ooh, regen on Croxies. Lethal poison is a type of poison we don't in theory have here. That's nice. And Tlaq'to gives us banish and unbreakable. Oh, those are some nice choices. Yeah, see, much nicer than the Razordons, for which it's completely and utterly useless. So basically, make them tanky, make them a lethal, well, make them damage over timey. Or make them banish. The physical resistance is nice. The physical resistance reduction is nice, and admittedly, so is the magical attacks. It's a significant buff of this particular unit. Magical attacks in general, obviously, being quite strong. I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on it until I make a decision and get the second one on field. Oh, I also gotta see what types of attacks the other things that are gonna be in this army will get. Oh, also, that finished the expedition, right? I didn't mean to click you. I got excited. That did not finish the... Oh! That was only the start of the expedition? Oh, I really shouldn't have auto-resolved that. My bad. Whoops. Damn it. Oh no. At least we have Studious, which means you're healing a decent bit, but yeah, I did not realize that at all. Well, damn me. I'd love to get this low death ammunition, but it's only buffing the one guy. I think we're actually going to get passionate for the additional XP, specifically for the character, because he wants to level up to level these things up faster, right? On the other hand, it's basically a 4% increase, whereas we could just straight up get more specimens easier this way. Oh, the other hand is we should really put 3 points into Skirmisher to buff every single unit. It will help with the auto-resolve. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna say go Skirmisher here. It'll buff all of these units. It won't buff the Kroxigors because they're Sacred Guardian, but we can get Sacred Guardian after. It's also been a while since these guys have gotten another unit. This is the army where I deleted a Skink Chief in order specifically to do that, but whatever. Anyway, we were going to go through determining the Great Plan. Actually, we'll go 1 point in here, and then we'll go for a sequence of alien knowledge afterwards. But anyway, tic-tac. I see a tiny little army moving to Scrap Towers. The annoying element of this being that they will continue making units, and we will not be able to immediately move down to here. I guess what we could in theory do is move up here, sack Scrap Towers, and then move back. It's poorly defended anyway. Alright, I think that's what we do. Plus it'll give us vision of what the heck is going on up here. Ooh, yeah, it is Grimgor's Ard Boys. Ooh, they're pretty likely to declare war on us. Alright, so sack this. That damaged us actually pretty severely. Sack, and then I'm gonna hope that in March stance you have enough movement range to get back to Shattered Stone Bay. You do not. Okay, so that changes plans and we have to occupy it. I guess we could abandon it then. Alright, hey, free administrator though. Alrighty, well, uncollect this, or don't repair it. We're just gonna abandon it and... or maybe not, well, we'll see. Either way, it's the Dragon Isles that are important. Artifact Hunter. That's actually nice as well. Tic-Tac, do you want a free Artifact Hunter? What do you have in terms of stuff here? Okay, admittedly, you have some good stuff. What do we want to get rid of? In theory, the Fan Waver can be given to a hero. But in practice, we also need to give those to a hero anyway to get you more punishment. You know what, I'll give that guy to you later. For now, we'll deal with it as it is. Ezozyme. You are moving to the Bone Island, which will continue amusing me because I'm incredibly immature. And we'll see what's over there. Actually, if it's a tier 5, you might not be able to take it on your own. Let's see what we're looking at here. Alright, he's rebuilding. It is not a tier 5, but it is, by the looks of it, a pretty decent settlement. Probably should have booked it over there immediately. But oh well. If you fail Ezozyme, then we'll just have to rebuild you harder, better, faster, stronger. Quetgar. It'll be a while until Quixotal is ready for an upgrade, and Zlatlan... well, actually, Zlatlan will need it, so you're going to go right here to Statues of the Gods, where next turn you will upgrade this, then move southward to Zlatlan again. Alrighty. That's Quetgar. Washti and Koke, you're going to attack in a second. I just want to make sure that we... oh, more islands. There really is a lot of islands around here, isn't there? Well, I mean, we're not at war with the Blooded Wanderers, is it? Oh! Mazda Mundi, I didn't expect you to be all the way down here. Oh, I wanted to see how many territories you have. Strength rank 12, 14 settlements. Very nice, Mazda Mundi. Very nice. Alright, he's doing better than I expected him to. Ooh, I noticed that the Jade Court is at war with him, which is kind of unfortunate. But oh well. I do not remember whether they hold any territory that, you know, is naturally supposed to be ours. Go here. I fear that if this is a fight, we can't auto-resolve it, mostly because the Bastillodons are damaged. So we're gonna have to manually fight this. I'd love to auto-resolve it, but we're stuck in a place where we get attrition next turn, and that means we've no choice. On the bright side, every one of these army battles is a little bit more XP, trying to get those turtles up to tier 4. Or tier 5, rather, so that we can upgrade them to gun turtles. Alright, come on now. I'll try to do this reasonably quickly. Alright, start deployment. Let's move everybody back here. I want you two to stand together for a little bit and just heal each other for at least a little bit so that maybe we can ignore the attrition and all for a bit. You guys go in front. Turtles in front of everybody to take the hits. Gorok way in front of everybody. Similarly, to take the hits, you are going to go out front. You guys are all going to be group 1. In theory, good. You're gonna be no. You're gonna be group 2 because we need you to cast. All right, we'll hide the Archaeopteryx here, hit the enemy in the flanks as we usually do, and then the Pterodon riders can fly over them. All right, I believe that's all we gotta do. So group 2, start battle, speed it up to max. So drop a spell on the enemy like so. Alright, and to speed it up, oh, we got the regular version of the spell ready to go again. Let's hit the... I wish I could hit more than one unit at once. Not happy. Not happy with that. Not happy with that. Wait, what? Aha! We can hit the Lord. There we go. Alright, enemy is still moving. Speed it back up. Let them close the distance a little bit more. Once again, I'm just letting the Basties heal each other a little bit. Alright, and now it's time to go. Alright, Gorok, you're going to charge him. We're going to summon the Ripperdactyls on top of that unit. We are going to summon the Skink. Go for Archaeopteryx. Flyers, go overhead. Other flyer, go overhead. Mage, stand by. Alright, go. Kill. Gorok's in. Move. Get around. Ripperdactyls are fine. You guys go over and kill. Alright, Archaeopteryx are in. Get ready to bomb drop on all of these guys like so. And drop bomb. Hey, drop bomb. And drop bomb again. Those units are destroyed. Beautiful. Target the other range unit, and let us go for an overcast Flock of Doom. Alright, you guys back off very, very slightly. And don't fight the enemy Lord. For the love of K. I specifically don't want you to be damaged. That's what I get for max speeding it. Anyway, you go and attack. And I probably could have sent you after the Lord, to be perfectly honest. Alright, and I believe we're just about good here. Let's speed it back up to max. You... back off so that you don't kill any of our own units. Gorok, you can activate Mace of Ulamak now that you're actually fighting the Lord, as you were supposed to be. There is a... oh, the big boy. I forgot about you. Let's debuff Big Boy with the Curse of Anra here, and then we'll surround him with the Ripperdactyls, and we'll move the Saurus away. You guys can go here. Gorok can go fight said Big Boy, and everybody else can back off. And just keep these two together. Then we'll max out the speed. Gorok will fight him because, well, Gorok's not going to get damage doing it. And, I mean, you guys can also go near. Like so. And the battle will be over in a second. There we go. All right. No problem. 2 losses, and at least our these guys got healed. Because we'll suffer a turn of attrition, but then we can go back and, you know, either grab more islands or continue on our merry way. Oh, wow, would you look at that? 5,000 damage and 94 kills on a turtle? How did that happen? They must have attacked the zombies. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, because they're not having a good time killing the depth guard, but maybe if we specifically rush them towards, you know, weak units, we could do a little bit more. 94 damage Delta's gold value. 289 damage Delta's gold value. It's the best they've ever done. Alrighty, yeah, we're gonna have to heal here. Much as I prefer the cash for additional units. Alright, there you go. Anything interesting? Another fan waiver, another 8,000 gold, but alas, no, you know, no money. You're relatively close to this Remnants of Battle, and in full speed stance you could reach it, but it's kind of taken us away from where we want to be, and there's only one here. I think I'd rather go for these, because then we can go immediately to Burgun like this, rather than taking 2 turns, so yeah, we'll do that. And, aha, there's another island over here. Alright, well, we can stop on by near this island. Who knows, maybe there's even more over there. It's a distinct possibility. Digga's fine where he is. Mazda Conqua, you are continuing on your merry way. Tyrannicon, you're about to fight the Fire Army. Is not healing at all? Wow. I guess you need a Skink Chief, don't you? Alright, we don't have capacity for Skink Chiefs anymore. Alright, we're gonna have to actually build some capacities then. Alrighty, you Tech Thief have 6 turns, so you can hit this place. You can hit this place. You can hit this place. Alright, did I move all the Tech Thieves now? Was that the last one? Or are there more? Teto Echo does need to... you know what, Teto Echo, act as a Tech Thief briefly. And you're not joining the army for a bit, so you may as well get us a little bit of that extra research rate while you're waiting. There you go. Alright, plus it'll help him level. I like it. I like it a lot. Who is Tim Mackenzie again? Oh, you're... Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oshiotla, you're back. He who hunts unseen. You, go here. Transfer to Oshiotla the chameleons and the oracle. Oshiotla, I would like you to get... Okay, well, we'll need some blessed spawning, which we will soon get. These guys we may keep or we may transfer to another army, so start moving this way to potentially transfer. I probably should have just reset you, but whatever. Then we'll go Ancient Knowledge, more research rate. Inspiring Presence. Behind enemy lines is only for your army. I mean, we should have enough to get everything. Yeah, alright. So, Upkeep Reduction and Missile Resistance for Troglodyns, Coatl, and Skink. Oracle. It's the Oracle and the Troglodyns that concern me the most here. Close aim for Chameleon Skinks. All armies faction-wide. Hello, that means it'll buff our caravan guys. Well, that's lovely. I wasn't expecting that. Armor-piercing missile damage for all skink infantry as well. Yeah, alright. What do we have here? This is specifically for fighting chaos, but it's nice buffs. And this is just missile damage in foreign territory and melee attack. And this gives us more ammunition for skink infantry, which is always nice. Route Marcher, and start going through Skirmisher, I guess. Alright, what do you have, by the way? You have a Hibernation Attendant and a Banner of Swiftness. Huh. I wonder if a Cursed Armor would be a good choice for you. It's not like you're fighting in melee most of the time. Oh wow, his range damage is actually weaker than the range damage of the Expedition Lords. Though I do wonder whether he's stronger. Out of curiosity, what's the speed you have on this? 39 speed, 240 armor. I mean, we can bump that 39 up to like 45 or so with the Banner of Swiftness, funnily enough. I mean, really, he just needs to be as fast as other chameleon skinks are, right? You know what? I'm gonna keep the accursed armor on him for now, just because the idea amuses me. I don't know whether he will retain it. Most likely, I'm just gonna put it on a slan. Just to make him tankier. And frankly, that's probably the best option by far, but you know, for now. Just for now. Alrighty. Kuetgar, you are... Oh, wait. I just realized it also reveals him, doesn't it? Which means... Yeah, no, you want him to use stock. Wait, he doesn't have snipe? And he doesn't have snipe or unspottable? Well, that's just shocking. Really. You don't have snipe and unspottable. You give snipe and unspottable to what? Okay, yeah, see, this is that annoying thing that the game likes to do. Like, he gives snipe and unspottable to every other chameleon skink unit, but not himself? That's what you're telling me right now? And there's a tendency towards this in the game, unfortunately. Like, lords will buff their own unit type to be stronger and more effective than they themselves, so how are you conferring that knowledge if you yourself don't have it? It's strange. I don't understand the purpose behind this. But anyway, Tyrannicon, Tehenaman, etc., etc., it's time for you to fight. Now let's move you on in. Tyrannicon, do we need to... actually, wait. Washti. To join the Behalis, I want to get you a couple, well, probably 4, but for now, I'll get you 2 of these Amakanth guys. So is there anything else here? Oh, right, we have that Colossodon Rex. I'm tempted to get it to try it out, it's just that I don't know whether it's going into one of these armies yet, and the problem is if we summon it here, it's basically stuck in Lustria, you know? I was thinking we might summon a new army here, because, okay, Tiktaq's kind of by himself, and there's a lot of territory, potentially, to cover, you know? We'll need more armies. You know, I'm gonna give it some thought. We'll summon it soon, guys, don't worry. Next episode, or the episode after, probably. I'm excited to see these Amakanth. Alright, so hopefully this is sufficient stuff. I guess we're about to find out. Alright, you guys go on in. Oh, I just had another thought. Tehenaman, how's your mana? It's not great. Digga has max. So we can have Digga attack Pokoldaka. Admittedly, that will mean no harassing the enemy army, but, you know, the mana will probably come in handy. Alright, so... Oh, wait, but then this will give us the defeat trait of Rakarth. I don't remember what it is. Is it anti-large bonuses? Admittedly, Tehinoan could use it. Alright, Squid will have Tehinoan attack, just in case. In case we accidentally kill Rakarth. So that, and we wouldn't be able to get his defeat trait by attacking twice. Washti, go into regular stance. Move on in, reinforce. In fact, you guys can go into... Okay, you can't go into an encamp stance. So you can't go into an encamp stance. You probably don't need the vigor loss, though, so let's do this. And then you... Well, actually, you could use the miscast reduction. Alright, now to Tehinoan. I was about to say, do we want Vanguard deploy you? But I don't think so, you're fine. Go, go, go. Should be a pretty big fight. I assume you're not gonna run? You are not gonna run. Beautiful. Pyrrhic victory casualties. We've got about 3 stacks of enemies, and we've got about a little over 2 stacks of our own. Should be fun. And we got a lot of interesting new units in here as well. The Parasaur riding teams, as well as the Amakanth. And we got our brand new Blessed Razordon hunting packs. They're super fragile, though, so gotta be careful not to lose them. Go. Alrighty, here we go. One of the benefits of Tehinoan being on the Ripperdactyl rather than on the engine of the gods is that Tehinoan can move closer and faster to the enemy army, and thus he should be able to cast a few flocks of doom on them while they're waiting for their reinforcements to arrive. Speaking of reinforcements, our own have got a minute or so until they're here, so we're just going to speed matters along a teensy bit and allow them to make their way onto the battlefield. It's gonna be a big one at all times. 40 units clashing against 40 units with more reinforcements awaiting. Now, we have to reinforce the Bahalas, now the little ones. I forgot what they're called already, Amakanth, which do have a slightly similar kind of look to them. They're kind of... I don't know, kind of like a mix between a chameleon stalker, or a chameleon skink rather, and a cold one. It's kind of neat looking. I like it. They got the sort of chameleonish tail, the little spines, but the general shape of a raptor. I like them. And they do look similar enough to the Bahalas, I think, that we will keep the two together. I like it a lot. Plus, they're both technically anti-large, so there's a lot of cavalry superiority in theory available from these guys. We'll see how well they actually function against Cav as we go. Anyway, and to start the battle off, well, I guess Tehinoan has already started. He's facing off against Rakarth up in the air. Obviously, we haven't really built Tehinoan out to fight yet, so he is going to take some damage fighting Rakarth. And we will summon the Ripperdactyls to distract him while Tehinoan moves back. Why don't we care about him taking damage fighting Rakarth like this? Because we can move back to the Life's Land, get a regrowth rather, cast on him, and then just continue. Otherwise, the Bahalas and the Amakanth have moved into the fight, and ooh, looks like we've got a nice anti-large target for us. The Stalkers will face off against the enemy Twin Blade Corsairs. Actually, those are Handbow Corsairs, I lied. While the Amakanth and the Bahalas face off against the enemy Warbears, or Feral Bears, I guess. And even angry dinosaurs have to know to fear the bears. But anyway, it looks like, ooh, over here a feral wyvern has decided to land. I wonder how well these guys will do to clear it out. Their models might be too large to have a significant number of them attacking it at the same time. They're having a little bit of trouble sort of grouping up around it, but that's just generally kind of the case for the game oftentimes. Anyway, now the main battle is about to be joined. Tehinoan has healed up and is now back to 3/4 of his HP and is back to fighting against Mr. Rakarth. And we also do have our units of Parasaur riding teams somewhere around here. There they are. Alright. Just gotta take a look at these guys. Oh wow, there's 3 skinks on these teams. That's pretty nice. There's a lot more skinks on these guys than I thought there would be. There we go. First little volley into Rakarth. Oh, okay, don't kill him. Okay, we're gonna have to directly tell them to target some other stuff because we don't want them to kill him off so that we can double up on his defeat trade, hopefully. That's the plan, anyway. Anyway, these guys seem to reload rather slow. We've got 10-second reload time, yeah, so a fair bit. I assume it'll go down as they gain veterancy. Well, they're going to begin by checking those javelins at the enemy for a while, applying that lethal poison of theirs. We'll see how much damage they can rack up in range, and then we'll send them into melee as well. Gotta test them out after all. Anyway, they're going to engage in the shootout for a bit of a while, I imagine, but it looks like thanks to their heavy armor and decent bit of HP, they can take a fair few hits, which is nice. Otherwise, a big whole distributed battle, massive front line, everybody's engaged with everybody. And it's hard to know where to look, because it's just a huge brawl all over the battlefield. So many units at this point that it's kind of difficult to control them all at once, and it's better to just overwhelm enemies in several different numbers, and then control a few critical units to sort of work the enemy's flanks, run them down, etc., etc., and target critical units. Like here we got the Bloodrack Medusa being attacked by the Skink Chief on that Ancient Stag. It's a big old howdah up there as well. And yeah, the little Sauropods do really look like these Stegs, so we gotta make a Steg-centric army with more of those Sauropods, maybe Sauropod Riders and regular Sauropods, though I might still keep the Sauropods in Tehenwen's army, just because I feel like he needs one of the units. And then we'll take a look at what other units that we have available, if we want to trade them off with something else and split them off, depending on how they end up functioning. Bolt of the Old Ones comes down on the enemy, doing a little bit of damage to some of the enemy range units, whichever they hit, whether it be Dark Shards or Corsairs. The Parasaurs have decided to join the fray as well. Oh, I like that they've got like necklaces. This is nice. Long-necked beasties, it makes sense to give them that kind of decoration. Alright, otherwise bounce power has shifted to about 85% in our favor, closing in on 90. The enemy army is basically losing on every front. That said, reinforcements are still making their way onto the battlefield, and we're going to move to meet them. Unfortunately for the enemy, a lot of the reinforcements, the Reaper Bolt Throwers, well actually the Reaper Bolt Throwers have been firing away for a while, but there's a lot of Dark Shards and stuff that are in as reinforcements, which would have helped a lot more if they had been with the enemy during the fight. I always find it weird that they never sort of designed the game such that you could, when you have more than 40 units, choose which units you make it onto the battlefield first, and then which ones come in as reinforcements. I found it really strange that that's not a thing. Like, even in this battle, we basically withdrew several units so that we could get other units onto the field, because, for example, the Parasaurs, or the Parasaur riding teams, were the last units onto the battlefield, and I wanted to use those. And check out how they do. Anyway, the Amikant are getting a little bit of that cavalry superiority we were talking about in a fight with an enemy unit of Cold One Knights, and by the looks of them, defeating them pretty handily, though admittedly with a little bit of help, magical and mundane. Parasaur riding teams still running the enemy down, and again, these guys are surprisingly big, considering there's so many of them in a unit. Alright. I wonder if there's any other units in the mod that would work nicely with these guys. Funnily enough, I was thinking these Sauropod riding teams might, because they have a slow down sort of attack on them. If we do make a full-on skirmisher army that isn't chameleon skink based like a Shiotlas, it might be a way to combine some of these guys. But anyway, I digress. With that, Ricard's 3 Dark Elven stacks come to an end. We will do our best to chase them down. Unfortunately, we have a lot of fast-moving dinos in these army compositions, which means few enough of the Dark Elves will survive. Alright, there we go. Oh, we're back to 99 alignments, but very, very nice, massive fight against the Dark Elves, Tehenwen carrying the day, and we just managed to keep Ricard alive, so we should be able to double up on his defeat rate. I don't remember if it's good, but I guess we'll find out in a sec. The Amikant did fairly well, 19k into 12k, so they're definitely worth keeping around. The Bahalis was doing okay, but had a little bit of a a tough time getting pincushion. Now, the Parasaur riding teams, I had originally surmised that by virtue of the fact that they have those skinks and the fact that they have lethal poison and range damage, that they would be a kind of skirmisher cab type unit, but their range damage actually seemed to be quite weak as they were firing away for a while and doing almost no damage. Then I sent them into melee and they did reasonably well after that, and of course the numbers got inflated as they chased stuff down, but it seems like perhaps they're a just straight up regular skink cav with a small range attack version. We'll have to experiment a little bit more. I'm almost now curious to see whether the Ceropod riders are the skirmisher cav instead, but maybe I'm not, maybe I'm wrong, maybe we'll see. But anyway, otherwise we did pretty darn well. Oh wow, 8,000 gold as a reward. I guess we could heal, but it's only our main stack, and it didn't take all that much damage at the end of the day. Again, thanks to the life slam keeping everybody alive, and doing a decent bit of damage while it's at it. Yeah, I guess we'll release the captives for the cash then. Go for it. It's not that we can heal the other armies after all. And I'm actually curious about something now, and I wonder if we can reach this guy. Or whether we have to attack the Golden Colossus directly. So bonus versus large plus 10 out to the Lord itself, meaning this will be useful on Washti, but not as useful on somebody like Digga. Alright, fair enough. Then we'll have Washti attack the Golden Colossus. Or this... Oh, no, he can only reach the Golden Colossus. Alright, that's fair enough. We'll deal with that in a second. Another Zod servant for Erekadan. You are supposed to go on Lords, not Heroes, so nothing for you, Skink Chief. Washti, you can hold on to the servant. Pterodon for Xtanarax. Skink Chief. Alright, fair enough. Hour of Quetzal, Berserker Sword, at least we're getting some items out of that. Anyway, what I wanted to briefly check or see was... Where are we here? So you guys, the Ceropods, just out of curiosity, do the Ceropod riders have fire whilst moving? I believe they do. I believe that's a symbol for fire whilst moving. And considering their low armor, maybe they're better as a skirmisher unit? I have to make a comparison. It's just, I wanted to put one of these guys in Oshiotla's army, and I don't know which yet, which is gonna bother me until I figure that out. But we shall see soon. Either way, Washti, you're attacking Rakarth's, or the Golden Colossus now. Like, so close victory. I imagine if we move everybody in, you won't have to just move in, and move in. Alright, decisive victory, low casualties, nothing will die. Double checking, triple checking that auto-resolve, good. Obviously no need to fight that again. We're gonna take more damage than we did during the main fight, but we did get a Talisman of Preservation out of it, and I should have spent those talisman, or should have spent those alignments. Alright, let's do that again. Alright, doubling up on that Rakarth trait. Featherfoot Torque, useful, but not for Tehenuan. Horned one for Tyrannicon. Good, you're actually staying on that one since you're a community canon legendary lord, and this completes the Copper Desert, which gives us the alignment of monuments. We've no need of the Riperdactyl Hatchery or the Beast Layer here, and we will start off by, well, not building the Geomantic Pylon. We'll start with the old one monument, mostly because the Geomantic Pylon costs a lot of money. And we want the reductions first. Alright, start moving towards the rest of Rakarth's territories, I guess, so you can do so while channeling. We'll keep these guys together until we split them off into other armies. Obviously, Tehenuan can travel on his own because he has completed army, so he can do this while the others sort of travel northward. And Oshiotla will move to join them and take some troops as well. Actually, speaking of Oshiotla, let's go for Skink Skirmisher, Blessed Skink Skirmisher, and immediately upgrade to give you, go figure, Blessing of Huan Chi. Probably not even a choice for these guys. Wait, out of curiosity, So you have Firewall, Smoothing, Hide, Vanguard Deployment, Stock. So you wouldn't have Snipe and Spottable like the Chameleon Skinks would you? Let me just double check here. Snipe for Chameleon Skinks, Unspottable for Chameleon Stalkers, and just regular stock for Skink Infantry. Well, that's not too bad, because we otherwise would want to... actually, that's a question. Do we want to go for the Blessing of Huan Chi on these guys? I wish I remembered what the Blessed Chameleons... you know what? What level are you? Rank 9. Alright. I'm going to... I usually don't do this, but again, eventually we'll have enough blessed spawning coming in to be able to get as many as we want, so it doesn't matter. I'm just going to upgrade you to a blessed variant. I would like to see what kind of alignment blessings you have. So you have Chotek for flaming attacks, you have Quetzal for regeneration, and then you have Tepok. Aha! Okay, so these guys don't have the option of bleed or lethal poison, interestingly enough. Too bad that the fire one doesn't do any damage over time. That means I'm gonna say go for the blessed spawning of Quetzal for the regeneration. The perfect vigor is nice as well, don't get me wrong. But thanks to their loose formation, they're not usually in danger of getting hit too hard by spell work, so I don't think we need to worry about that too much. Quetzal should be more generally useful. Alright, and then these guys, then we're free to do Huan Chi for the bleed. And maybe if we have more than 4, we'll do some lethal poison as well. But yeah, let's go for Huan Chi. Lovely. Man, Huan Chi is just by far the most used of the blessings as we've seen so far. Also, who are you again? Oh, blessed by Itzel with Star Gift. Okay, so we want one guy with a Star Gift for every Slan, so you're gonna go join that Life Slan and stay in his army. Also, we have Resolute, we have Fleet-Footed. Ugh, been getting very bad luck with the Source Scarvets in this campaign. Also, Incitement. Okay, so this is what I wanted. I'm gonna want to put a couple of Troglodons in Ashiotla's army and get him his second Oracle then. Good lord, they're expensive. Well, they're never going to get any cheaper, so might as well. Just because of the tremendous expense. Okay, we'll figure those out later. Let's get increased mobility, at least for now, just so that, you know, Ashiotla moves a little bit further. Alright, then, I believe that was the only thing that we had to do this turn that was left, right? Who is Cassitan again? Oh, right, he's a Star Gift during the Fire Army, and then Okenatak. Or can I lock accurate? Oh, you're another skink chief. Trying to remember rather who has what skink chiefs now. Assassin. Did I not give somebody 2 accurate skink chiefs? Am I crazy? Was it Tehenoan? No, he has a primal strength variant, which actually makes sense for him. Oh, Tyrannicon, you have accurate and assassin. Ah. Admittedly, accurate does more melee work than it does range work, so... And also, Tyrannicon probably won't need more than 1 skink chief in his army. Actually, depending. Probably just the 1 is fine. So maybe we keep the lethal poison one and then give the accurate one to Ashiotla. Let's do that. Alright, go back and join Ashiotla just so that I don't forget, and then that way everybody has the skink chiefs they need. Digga will need some as well, but, you know, not a priority at this time. Anyway, let us move the Fire Slan. Wait. I was gonna give you a spawning signal. You know what? Move to the edge of this territory in camp stance, then go to the enemy territory like so, which will enable you to heal. Again, it makes absolutely no sense that we can't heal in our own territory, but can heal in the enemy territory. That's game for you. Then... we want to move towards Blazing Sword of Ruin. Let's go for... are your Winds of Magic max? Nowhere near it, meaning we'll do the Becoming, Cogitation, and then Soul of Stone, and move to the Blazing Sword of Ruin after. And then I would like next turn for you to go back briefly to the Shrine of the Last Smile and then get a... well... I was gonna say get another unit. Yeah, okay, there's a lot of scary stuff in here. Several units of Chaos Knights and stuff. I mean, you can fight them, don't get me wrong. I wanted to get you a unit of Saurus. Although, you know what we can do? You know what? Actually, just move. We can have somebody bring you it. Like you. Kealkano. You're gonna go in here, and then next turn we'll summon the unit of Saurus that we will bless with Chotek, or, you know, do that. Anyway, building. What do we have? Probably not much, and ooh, Quetzal, yes, to the old one monument. Still building those everywhere. Alrighty, at least our public order will not be taking any real hits from really anything. Soon confederations will make no difference to our public order just because we'll have so much public order everywhere. Mosquito Swamps, you are definitely going to go for that iron, and we'll hold off on the rest of the stuff. Spinus Sotek, new province. Definitely go for the Geomantic Pylon and follow it up with the Old One Monument. Thrice Cursed Peak, you're kind of in the same position. Skink Favelas into Old One Monument. And then Nobbler Country, we will be trading or abandoning or something, so we'll leave it alone for now. With that, folks, I do believe we are pretty much out of time. I guess we could end the turn and just have enough, just have slightly enough time for that. How are we for Confed? Ah, yes, we're going to be able to do Gorok's mission battle soon. Also, how are those turtles looking? Why must rank 5 be so difficult? Anyway, let's quickly end the turn, and then we'll end the episode after that. Just want to see if anything of particular interest happens. And do you want to peace out now? Ah, they immediately got an army up and running. Though that should hardly be of any surprise. Alright. Trying to remember if anybody anywhere can attack any of our armies right now. I don't imagine the forces of chaos will sally out from where they are, so I doubt it'll be them. We'll have a dilemma from our expedition chief. And this gives us summon ally for 500. Yeah, sure, why not? These guys are still a little bit damaged from that auto-resolve.
Quest has been issued.
What quest? Whose quest?
A great adventure beckons. Be wary.
Teheno. Oh, he didn't have the Plaque of Sotek. I did not realize that, but that's control bonus for all provinces. Oh, wow, we got 2 potentials now. Alright, well, we'll probably definitely fight one of them next episode, so that'll be nice. Alright. Ooh, income from mines and quarries plus 100%. There's a few places. This gold mine is making 1120 now. Pretty good. Definitely want to buff up any place that has one of these now, because we can certainly get a lot of value out of them. Isn't it lovely? Alright, what I wanted to do with you was get the Blessed Saurus Warriors with shields, and I would like you to get 2 Yamaboro Riders. Technically 3, I mean, we could get a regular Yamaboro, but let's go the 2 Yamaboro Riders, and then we'll go for maybe another one after an expedition, or maybe we'll start leveling our Yamaboro, depending on if we do that particular expedition, so we shall see, basically, is what I'm getting at. You're gonna get Blessed Spawning of Chotek. Flaming attacks, because you're gonna be a fire army kind of guy. You, move in. Trade for a couple of those non-javelin skink cohorts. Like so, and I changed my mind. Do this. Beautiful. Alrighty, now you can do the wait. Do this. And then delete that. And then pop on in. Perfection. Alright, and then I believe you're no longer needed. We can reset you and then get you back if we should need you to move somewhere. Alright, with that, we're out of time. I'm going to call the episode here. We'll take the Star Metal Cemetery next episode, as well as, well, probably taking a bunch of stuff and probably doing at least one of the quest battles. And, oh, damn, they summoned a full stack here. I don't know if Izozam can take those guys without the monsters I promised him. Might have to briefly go back or have somebody wait. Oh, we can actually get stuff here. Alright, so if we sit here for a turn, we'll be able to get another Croxagore unit, which will work. But anyway, that next time, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, as they will determine how long this campaign continues to run for. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.